The following program is a collection of hooligans engaging in lively conversations about anything and everything that happens to populate in their heads. It is meant to be comedic entertainment. The opinions expressed on the show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of the hosts, their peers, AIM Student Radio, or the Communication Media Department. P.S. Don't sue us and don't believe anything we say. Good morning and welcome to the Dumpster Fire 4.1, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I am Josh here for you on this lovely Valentine's Day Eve. I can't believe I called it that, but I digress. It's going to be a lovely day here on campus. Still a lot of snow on the ground. To be fair, the weather people kind of botched it a little bit, not throwing any shade, I'm just saying. But first, we had 4 to 6 inches of snow predicted. Then we end up getting 13, or in some parts of the city up to 18, depending on where you are at. That's quite a bit of snow, wouldn't you say? It's way too much snow. I didn't even bother to try to dig out my car until Sunday when I actually had to go somewhere, and it was quite entertaining at first. So keep in mind, my car, it's black. A little bit of sunlight hits it, it warms up, and I thought, oh, okay, maybe it'll help melt some of the snow off. But then I take a look outside my front door, and I realize, oh, there is still like 13 inches of snow just on my windshield. Okay, the sun isn't going to melt this off in time. I'm just going to have to go out there and clear this thing off. It was quite an eventful weekend, wouldn't you say? It was a very sort of a big game weekend. It was quite an entertaining sight. Obviously, we now have to live with the fact that the Chiefs are back-to-back Super Bowl champions. As a Broncos fan, you can tell this hurts me, because now they did something that we did back in the days. And I think the thing that hurt me the worst of all, the person who gave the trophy to the Chiefs had to be John Elway himself. That hurt. We had to give the Lombardi trophy to our division rivals. That just, that hurt. That hurt almost as bad as Super Bowl 48. If you know, you know. It was, it hurt. But regardless, it was still a fun weekend overall. The game itself, the first 2 quarters and then like a good part of the third quarter, not a lot happened. Then from then on, it became a game. It became an incredible game. We got the second overtime in Super Bowl history. Game didn't end until just a handful of seconds left in overtime. So in terms of an actual football game, the ending was incredible. Sure, it wasn't the result we wanted, especially for us Broncos fans. But oh well. If there's one thing that we can hang our hat on this season as Broncos fans, is that we did beat the Chiefs. So we can hang something on the fact that we did beat the Super Bowl champions. In the regular season still. A win is a win. We beat them. That's what matters. But anywho, let's go ahead and get a quick check here of your weather. And actually, before I go into the weather, we have our segment, the segment that I couldn't start last week. I am starting today, which is, will Dax and Kion make it on time? The answer is no, but there's a good reason. Dax and Kion went to Panera and they're bringing stuff in. This is going to be quite a dumpster fiery show now, isn't it? And if I sound a little bit out of it, yes, I'm still waiting for the caffeine to kick in. No, I'm not going to have another charged lemonade. I learned my lesson after the last time. But now I digress. Let's go ahead and get to your weather here on this very warm but still so much snow on the ground Tuesday. Currently in Fort Lupton, we are looking at 45 degrees with a high of 52, a low of 25. Sunny skies, wind gusts of up to 1 mile per hour. Currently in Loveland, we are looking at 40 degrees, a high of 49, a low of 27. Sunny skies, wind gusts of up to 2 miles per hour. Currently in Windsor, we are looking at 32 degrees, a high of 49, a low of 24. Sunny skies and wind gusts of up to 2 miles per hour. And currently on the home campus of Greeley, we are looking at 45 degrees, a high of 49, a low of 23, sunny skies, wind gusts of up to 6 miles per hour. So it's going to be quite nice. It's going to be almost 50. That'll help get some of the snow melted off because, good Lord, that was so much snow. And it was the heavy, wet snow, not like the dry snow that we've been getting as of late. No, this is the wet, heavy snow. This is like perfect snowman snow. Also kind of dangerous because this is the snow that knocks tree limbs down, or even trees if it gets too much of it and the tree happens to be a little bit weak. It's been a crazy week so far. Honestly, I'm still recovering from the food coma because we did consume quite a bit of food over the weekend, as we do. I ordered wings from Wing Shack. Shout out to local businesses. My brother ordered pizza from Black Shack. Also another shout out to local businesses. And we had plenty of beverages at home. We didn't go party. That's been the kind of tradition with my family, is that for the Super Bowl, it's all of us at home. It is certainly cheaper. Plus, then we don't have to worry about the risk of, driving home or trying to find a DD or anything like that because we're at home already. We can eat, we can watch the game, we can partake in the festivities, and then go to bed. Don't even have to worry. We can stay in our pajamas all day long. But I will go ahead and let it get back to the music here on Ames Student Radio. Dax and Kion should be in momentarily. We got a great show here for you. Also today here in the Student Commons at Ames from 11 until about 1 p.m. There's going to be several events in there. There's going to be a little bit of a Valentine's Day event as well as Women in Science event. It's going to be happening, I believe, in Student Commons 114. It's going to be an incredible time, incredible event. Go ahead and help them out. Actually, myself and guests of the show, Janice. You all know Janice. We actually helped earlier this morning getting things set up for that event. A huge shout out to Jeff for letting us be part of that and helping us be part of the Ames community. And now, I know I've said it like 3 times, folks. I'm still half asleep. I apologize. I will let it get back to the music here on Ames Student Radio. Up next, we got Enemy by Imagine Dragons. Enjoy. And welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 4.1, part of Ames Student Radio, the way radio should be. I am Josh. Dax and Kion have joined us.
Hello.
Hey, you'd never guess whose fault it is that we're late today. Again.
Whose fault is
It's
it?
definitely not the one who still has bread in
Yeah,
his
Kion
mouth.
is still eating, so he's just going to stand away from the
Yes.
microphone for a
So,
second. But
in other words, Kion is just going to say, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me.
I'm the problem.
Okay.
if you quote her one more time, I will end you.
I've hit my quota for today, folks.
Okay, yep, uh-huh,
Yep. Yep,
Cool.
I'm only allowed one.
You're
and
only
I already
allowed
used
one,
it.
and you used it,
Yep.
what, 15 seconds into the show? Good job.
Well, 15 seconds into you guys being on the show.
Okay,
true.
listen. Have you ever tried to drag someone out of bed who cannot get out of bed and has zero hustle? Because that's what Kion is.
What? Me? Huh?
I mean, I don't know. I've been single for 7 years, so I can't really say I relate to that.
That's a great point. Imagine not relating. Couldn't.
Okay, I feel like this is already devolving.
What do you mean?
Literally,
Well,
Kion and I have been
you
in the
know it
studio
is.
for a couple minutes.
Listen, I am simply a little guy who really likes being asleep.
Okay, he's a little guy who really likes being asleep, except for he didn't go to bed until like 4 a.m. I was asleep by like 11:30.
I was on a treadmill at 4 a.m.
More accurately, last night, not last night that we were sleeping, the night before that, I did not get to bed until like 4 a.m, not by lack of trying. I originally was in bed by like 1 a.m, and then was like, I am not sleeping. This is not happening. And I got up at like 3, and was up for a little bit. I had a quesadilla and fish stick midnight snack. Don't worry about it.
He put the fish sticks in the tortilla, which is a crime. That right there is a hate crime.
Don't worry about it.
I'm a little bit worried about what
Listen,
your tummy
there
did
wasn't-
afterwards.
The more scary
my
thing was
gosh,
that
I
I
can
was
already
fine. So, and
So in other words, Kion, you and I could probably get along if we ended up going to like just random taco trucks at 1 a.m.
yeah,
Which is also
probably.
fun. I'm just saying.
Although my spice level is nothing, so there is that.
I think that fish sticks are like the hot dogs of the fish world.
And I don't even understand that first part because what do you mean you don't like hot dogs?
Hot dogs are the worst.
See, I can understand that because you are in a very German family.
Yeah.
You do have some bias. You're gonna be all for those brats. I get
Brats
that.
are good.
My
yo.
family has butchered all of our own meat for my entire life. Hot dogs are a hate crime. Have you seen the paste that they're made out of? That's
and they're
not like
scrumptious.
no.
They're a
The
yummy
texture is
snack
so
for my
bad.
tummy. Hot dog.
I'm gonna make you at some point in time when we are going to Germany and I'm gonna make you eat a currywurst, and then you are going to hate hot dogs as well
hot dogs.
because a currywurst
I'm
is
just
just
saying,
like if a hot dog.
if you could bring a pack of like those brats, like coming from a guy who consumes quite a bit of just meat on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I can see what meat my family is willing to spare, and I can make us like some sausage or something for next week. I don't know if we've got any sausage like in like the
Yeah,
links.
it's not
Yeah.
really hunting season, so
Well, we don't have any in the links because that requires like a whole extra machine, and all of us would rather just have just like make sausage patties
Yes.
when we do it. And also because you put the sausages through intestine. That's what that is. That's what like that coating around the sausages is its intestine. And that has gotten really, really expensive in the last couple of years. And like the whole process of rinsing and drying and all of that, and
It takes
a
while.
really long time, and we just simply haven't gotten enough hogs the last couple of years to make it worth it because again, the hogs have gotten really expensive too.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
But hot dog good.
hot dog bad,
Hot dog good. Fish
stick
stick
bad.
Fish stick. Listen, we have discussed my family's culinary practices. There was at one point when I went camping and was like, I was little, mind you. I was like maybe 4.
You mean littler?
Yes. I was younger. I was probably still the same height at 4. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Kion was a giant, and
Yes.
now he's mini.
Yes, correct. Anyway, we went camping. Maximum 4, maybe 3. And my dad was going fishing and he caught some fish. Oh boy, fish time. Yay. And we started cooking it and I was like, where is the breadcrumbs? Where is my crumbs? It's not. What do you mean this isn't fried? And so I was like raised on fish sticks, so you're wrong.
Okay.
Whoa.
Hear what my story is.
Yeah.
Probably around the same age, probably like 4, 5, 6, somewhere in there.
Okay.
My brother and younger cousin, they were like toddlers, like they were pretty little,
Itty-bitties.
itty bitty, yeah.
Yeah.
So we went and caught catfish at Lake McConaughey. I think I don't remember if it was Lake McConaughey or a different lake.
Catfish is another story.
Okay, so we had catfish, right? And my uncle chopped off all the whiskers and threw them in a kiddie pool with water. And fun fact, if you throw catfish whiskers at each other, they stick to your skin. So we went and ran around and threw catfish whiskers at each other for hours. Never ending fun. As long as you keep them wet, they like stay like they're kind of slimy and they just like stick.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so like all of us were probably between the ages of like 2 and 10.
Organic silly string.
There
Really,
you go.
and it was like the greatest thing ever. That is what I grew up doing. And then we had fish fry, so it was fried fish.
Okay.
We had fish fry, and my aunt made like homemade tartar sauce with like homemade relish, and she made the mayonnaise.
Homemade
with
sauces
eggs.
do hit different.
Like
That's for
it,
real.
like straight up the most natural, amazing dish that you can have. Yeah.
So, first of all, our perspective is very different because your family has always been way more culinary minded than mine is.
Maybe not culinary minded, but we did have a lot of fresh food.
Yeah. And secondly, catfish is a whole other ballpark than like
is so
other
good.
kind of fish.
It's so good.
Catfish is its own category. It's there is very few things as good as a fresh catfish, okay?
Right.
So, and that has been talking about fish sticks.
And Josh got to grow up eating like good Mexican food, like
Yeah.
actual Mexican food.
Yeah. We had tacos last night, so
Nice.
So, although the funny part is because of the game, we still have so many leftover hot wings and pizza still. So it was just kind of
Yeah.
like this hilarious sight. It's like we're eating tacos, but we still have all this other
The
leftover
fridge
food.
is still full.
Yeah, it's like we're going to have leftover food probably still most of today because my brother's here on campus today too. So I know he's not eating it. My parents aren't going to finish the pizza and the hot wings. So by the time we get home, it's like, oh, there's still more of this.
At 11, there is an event in the student commons.
Yes.
Well, there will be more pizza.
There will be
So-
more pizza, and there will be Krispy Kreme donuts. I actually saw them bring them in. I was helping them set up earlier this
So
morning.
you'll have even more pizza to bring home. Well, no, you'll
Yeah,
eat
I was
it
gonna say,
here,
it's like,
but-
no, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not bringing that home. We
Yeah.
still got to finish off the one we had.
But you'll have even more.
I think the other difference is like my family grew up very, very poor. Like to the point where we were like eating the bags of beans that you get from the food bank level of
Yeah.
stuff. So like we would like soak those beans and my mom would spice them real good. We had like spiced pinto beans.
Did you ever have the food bank grape juice?
Yes.
The
Yeah,
distinction, sorry to jump in.
No, you're
that
good.
I feel like that must be made is, while I have to say it, I was aggressively middle class.
Yeah.
So while I never really had food struggle, the kind of struggle that you were referring to that your family had was a very like, you didn't have money, so you had to be self-sustaining.
Right.
Not don't have any money, so we're going to have only cereal every day.
Right.
There's a very big difference there.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like while I still obviously didn't have any real struggle, I line up closer to the we're just gonna have instant food because that's all we got, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I feel like the other thing is like we would do like the calculating out, and butchering our own meat was way cheaper than buying meat for the year. So like getting the tags and getting all of the stuff, because we already had like the grinder and everything.
Yeah.
And spending 2 days, like we would save up. That was something that my mom had like a separate bank account set aside to pay for the spices and the tags and everything for our deer and hogs.
Yeah.
So like that, yeah.
yeah. So it was a different genre of
Yeah. My mom genuinely couldn't even afford like cup of noodles.
Yeah.
Type of poor.
Ooh.
Like my mom would scrounge up her pennies once a week.
like you
once-
have to be self-sufficient because you
Yeah, at
can't
that
It
point
was
you
afford.
have
once
to
every
be.
other week,
Yeah.
and there was like the 89-cent cones
Yeah.
from McDonald's, and every other
Oh.
week that was my brother and I's treat, and my mom couldn't even afford to get herself one. Like that's the level of poverty we were in.
Yeah.
So like, yeah. that
We- When
Yeah.
when my brother was first born, like at that period, we did briefly go through a time that we were going to a food bank. Because wouldn't you know, it's like, oh, one income household. Oh, kid was just born. Yeah, no. So at that point, we were.
Yeah.
There was a time that like we did have the WIC checks, we did have
Yeah.
the food bank. So I do remember making those trips. And the one thing I just remember like vividly in my head still was that grape juice because it came in this big old can.
Yeah.
And the
And it
taste.
just- it's I don't even know what makes it so good. It's probably not real fruit juice.
I don't
like,
know
in any
what it
capacity.
is, but I just remember like the grape colored like paper label that they would put around the can, and we would have that for a while until things got better. But
Yeah.
I do remember those times going to back where the food bank used to be. So where Higher Grounds is now, like when you go on 11th Ave towards Island Grove, that used to be the food bank a long time ago. Obviously, it's a little further out, and it's 10
It's on
times
O Street
bigger
now.
Yeah, but I remember like that original location. It was
I
nuts.
was in Sterling, so I was in a different
Ooh, you were.
county. Yeah. But I remember, I don't know if you had this, but the stewed tomatoes that they had, like the canned stewed tomatoes, because my mom would make beans, like soaked beans, tomatoes, and then like hamburger patties. And that sounds like a really weird meal, but ooh, that was so good.
I was gonna say I don't remember those. The one thing I just very vividly remember was just that grape juice and the cheese.
While
those
on the
blocks of
topic
cheese.
of things like food banks and whatnot, I am going to throw out that Ames does have some resources, just because we're on the topic. In the student commons, there is what we call the Ames, Artie's Pantry.
There you go.
They've got
Kion has 3 whole brain cells, and they are
Listen,
working overtime right now.
I'm getting the brain going. The Artie's Pantry, they've got staples. They've as in like milk, flour, etc. Yes,
They have
staples.
staples.
Just staples. As essentials. Yes.
Yeah.
They also have things like cosmetic goods
Yep.
like shampoo,
toiletries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, so
they've got good
and
stuff.
it's and you have, as a fee-paying Ames student, you do have access to that pantry. You can go over there and they'll let you know what you have to do to sign up, because I believe you can do orders. I think it's once a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a very good resource, and they do give you good quality goods.
Yeah.
I know people that work in there, and they give you some good stuff. So it is really a really nice resource for students, because hey, things are expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that has been, we're here and we're talking.
Yeah, who
That
knows
has
what that
been.
segment was. We're probably going to run over and check out that activity that's going on right now so we can tell you guys about it
Yes.
while you guys are listening to some music.
Yes, we will let it get back to the music, and I'm just going to let the radio play what it's going to play, because I'm pretty sure if I play what I was thinking of playing, Dax has already threatened to end me, so I wish to preserve
some
I wish
alleged
to
violence.
preserve my
I
life.
don't know what you're talking about.
There might be alleged
I'm
claims
not
of
violent.
violence. Yes.
I wish
Yes.
to preserve my life, so I will not play it. I made an intelligent choice for once. Also, too,
I'm
felt
so proud
like
of you.
I felt like a weird warmth on the top of my head. So I'm pretty sure if I would have played it, it would have been a combination of Dax sending me as well as V from far away. So
Yeah,
You
it's,
felt
it's
the
actually
telepathic
Dan.
link of
Dan is
Yes.
gonna send his big old paperclip powers to just incinerate you.
yeah, so I wish to preserve my life, so I will not be playing that.
All right.
And we will get back to the music on AIM Student Radio. Kion, I'm jelly of your hair. And welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 4.1, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. I am Josh, here with Dax
Hi.
and with Kion.
Hello.
Hello. So
I
we...
hate both of you.
Why?
Thank
Hello?
you. Yeah.
Are
Oh.
you serious?
Hello.
Oh, did I actually... Oh.
Yeah, both
I
of
know
you did it.
Kion did that, but
I did.
I honestly didn't
Yeah.
realize I did that.
And
Yeah.
you just mimicked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Two
sorry.
grown men
Yeah. Ooh,
going
woo.
hello
Yeah.
in the studio.
Ooh woo.
The only time that's acceptable is if V is here and you're mocking them.
So in other words, Kion, for the sake of our own lives, we will cease this immediately.
Oh well.
Okay, well, I will cease
Meet
this
me in the
immediately.
parking lot.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh dear.
I was going to say, I'm not going to place bets
AIM
after
Student
this
Radio.
weekend.
AIM Student Radio does not condone violence.
No.
Just Dax.
Just,
AIM Student Radio condones me, or I condone violence.
Dax condones violence.
Yes, I do. Sometimes
Yes.
the only way to get an old person to listen is to give them a little
little bop,
little smack up the head.
little pink.
I'm joking. I would never hit an old person.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
say,
no.
Dax, no.
No, I
But-
Bad
would.
Dax.
I
This
love my old
segment is
people.
devolving.
already, and we have been.
Yes. So to
Don't
be
even
fair,
worry.
we might all be a little bit delirious right now. We actually just got back from our the event at the Student Commons.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is
There's
actually really
karaoke,
cool. There's
There's
donuts.
food.
there's karaoke, there's donuts, there's mocktails.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, which I am really wanted to try one. However, it is apples and lemon, and
Yeah.
I am allergic to both of those things.
And I do
Yes.
not need more sugar. So.
And then I pulled a silly on Dax with the mocktail, which I'm pretty sure they're going to
I'm
crush me for.
again. Meet me in the parking lot after the show. It's about to go down.
AIM Student Radio does not condone violence.
No, but it's really cool. They've got a little stand that's got like sexual health stuff, and
For the upcoming holiday.
Yes, that's
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yes.
and none of
Yeah.
us are going to be participating.
No.
Uh,
no. But it's a good thing that they have the resources.
You two probably won't.
Well, that
Okay,
was a
we're-
jab.
Anyway, we're moving forward.
Segway.
There are a bunch of arts and crafts, and low key, after this segment is done, I might go and make a bracelet because you all know that I love me some crafts.
There's
I'm a
some
big
good stuff.
fan of crafts.
What are you gonna put on your bracelet?
Don't worry about it.
Stuff and things.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the word stuff and things on my bracelet.
Yeah.
Just for Kion.
Thank you.
Do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
But there's like, and they've got like other craft stuff. If you want to feel like just the kid again, you know, the crafting.
Where a kid can be a kid.
It's. Oh, do you want to hear a really funny story about that? So
Uh-oh.
anybody who knows me knows that I'm autistic as hell.
Very-
very autistic. Like I take
diagnosed.
things super
It
literally.
took all of like a week of being in therapy for your therapist to be like, "This, you need a diagnosis."
Yeah, so I am like properly diagnosed with autism. So when I was little, I heard the Chuck E. Cheese where a kid can be a kid, and I told my mom, I was like, kids are kids everywhere. What does that mean? And
Yeah.
my
Oh.
mom posted a lot of that stuff on Facebook because she thought it was really funny, and like it's all been popping up in the memories recently.
Oh,
my mom
no.
Is like, so my mom was like, I know you're like, how did you not see the signs? But to me, that was just like how you were, because your brother was also like that, and so
Because
were
he's
your cousins.
also-
And I'm like, we are all so autistic, but so are all of our parents. So like,
Yeah.
of course they didn't notice because they thought that was normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds, anybody who knows me well, like that clocks. Like
One
me
of
being
my-
like, kids can be kids anywhere.
One of my favorite Dax quotes that I have saved is, "Why do you shush horses? They don't say anything."
You mean the horses that Bezos invented?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes.
So the show's on Spotify.
Yes.
Somebody I know on Discord listens to the show.
Uh-huh.
And they've been, and I keep sending it to Dax and Kion, they've been they're continuing their contributions to this theory. And
Yes.
every time I get a new contribution to this theory, I end up sending just like a still shot from Oppenheimer of him just looking, just 1,000-yard
Yeah.
stare of guilt
Yeah.
every time, because it's like, what have we done?
For new time listeners, I'm sorry. There
Jeff Bezos invented horses because he can't drive a car.
So a while back, my lovely co-host here, Dax, was driving me to an appointment in Denver, and it was early-ish in the morning. By early-ish, I mean like 9, because we don't get up early.
Yeah, they don't get
You
up
don't
early.
get up early.
I don't get up
I get up
early.
at like 4:30 every
Yeah.
morning. You don't get up early.
And we got some milk tea, which is a very sweet tea. And Dax proceeded to come up with a very intriguing and definitely not real theory about how Jeff Bezos doesn't believe in horses because he made them up and he can't drive cars. And there's more, but it was just average Dax things.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've
Yes.
never made anything up in my life.
Right.
This whole thing ended up leading to, the very now comical disclaimer that plays on the Spotify version of the show.
Yes.
I don't know what you're talking about. Everything I say is true.
No.
I only speak truths.
That is why we have the disclaimer that
This
says
is why we have the disclaimer, and also too, I just pulled up here on the computer that we have in the
He's
studio.
looking into my soul. Can you like move it back to the weather?
Okay.
Thank you.
but the
I mean,
disclaimer
I could find one of the other pictures from one of the other scenes in the movie.
the disclaimer is thus AIM student radio is the opinions
I was gonna say,
expressed
I can
does
just
not
read it.
express
No,
the
oh my
college.
gosh. Okay, we need to like brain move on.
We need a
somewhere
vibe
else.
reset.
Why don't you do the weather and
Okay.
we'll reset our brains.
Okay.
Yes. Currently in Fort Lupton. Oh gosh.
What was the delay there?
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Okay, folks.
I believe in you.
This is what happens when you combine all of us and sugar and donuts and Dax's crazy oat milk coffee.
It's not
thing.
oat milk. That's normal milk, buddy. That's half and half.
I thought you said it was oat milk. Oat milk.
Oak milk.
The weather.
Oak milk.
The weather. The weather. Thank you, Kion. Currently in
Don't
Fort
thank
Lupton, we are looking at 45 degrees with a high of 52, a low of 25. Currently in Loveland, we are looking at 42 degrees, a high of 49, a low of 26. Currently in Windsor, it is 36 with a high of 50 and a low of 23. Sunny skies, wind gusts of up to 2 miles per hour. I swear these two are trying to make me break character, and I'm trying really hard not to.
I'm doing nothing.
And currently on the home campus of Greeley, it is 50 degrees, a high of 50. So it's the highest it's going to be all day today. A low of 22, sunny skies, and wind gusts of up to 7 miles per hour.
It's too warm outside.
I know.
It's too cold.
What happened to the snow?
It's February.
It needs to be more cold.
It needs to be warm.
No.
So I work in Fort Collins, and it snowed. So I went to bed at like 7 p.m. that night that it snowed. It snowed over a foot at my house.
Same.
So
Yeah.
I woke up in the morning and like didn't realize how much it had snowed. So I look outside and I'm like, I'm going to have to leave early for work this morning. I forgot that I would have to dig my gate out.
Oh no.
Because if you don't, it just like won't open.
Yeah.
Because it's like on an electronic thing. And honestly, I could have just taken the pin out and like forced it open and then put the pin back in. But I didn't think about that because it was 5 a.m.
Right.
And yeah, that was like the worst ever because I got water into my muck boots.
Oh.
And then my socks were wet when I got to work, and my feet already sweat a lot in my shoes, like my work shoes.
So it was just squish all day.
Yeah, all day long, and they're
Lovely.
waterproof shoes.
Oh.
Like my work shoes
Yeah.
are waterproof because I work with old people, and they have a tendency to create moisture.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my scrubs were wet. I was like, this is the
This
worst.
is miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Friday. So Friday, I got home at about 8:00. I was with my dad and his buddies, and at that time, the snow was barely starting to fall. It was only a handful of flakes here and there. So I thought, oh, okay, because at first, at that time, on the weather, they said, oh, it's only going to be 2 to maybe 6 inches at the most. So we thought, oh, okay. And then my mom wanted something from DoorDash. So we ordered DoorDash. It was actually really fast. It was like 15 minutes. I was kind of surprised for a Friday night. And the guy rings the doorbell to let us know the food's there. And I open the door and I look out and the road's already covered. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the
I
heck?
was at the hockey game on Friday night, the Eagles hockey. And so we go in at like 7.
Yeah.
And by the time we leave at like 9, the entire parking lot, all of the cars are just buried.
Yeah, because, I mean, they were saying 2 to 6 inches. So it's like, oh, it's not going to be that bad. It's like, oh, it's 13. And when I woke up the next morning, my bedroom's upstairs. So the window just looks out, and I saw some snow on the tree. So at first I didn't think, oh, it's not that bad. And then I looked down at the ground on the patio, and then I'm like, oh, that's like a foot. Because we had like a small bucket just in the patio that my dad puts stuff in, and the bucket was buried. And you could just see like the outline. It's like, oh, that's a lot of snow.
It was a similar thing. We have a few like patio chairs.
Yeah.
And you can just see like the mountain of
mountain of
snow
snow.
accumulating on the chairs.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess winter just decided to get it done in one go.
Winter's like, I'm just gonna unleash everything in one shot.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to word this carefully.
Use your words carefully.
Yes.
good
Josh
sir.
doesn't know what that means.
What careful means or what words mean.
Yeah, just in general.
Yeah.
Josh doesn't know.
Josh doesn't know.
Josh doesn't know.
But I was opening everybody's curtains in the morning because that's one of my jobs in the morning is like you open everyone's curtains. So it's like, hey, look, it's daytime outside. And everyone was like, wait, was it snowy yesterday? Am I losing my mind? And I had to tell them all like, no, you're not losing your mind. It did snow like
this isn't a dementia moment for once.
Yeah, it didn't snow that much in Fort Collins. It was like maybe 5 inches in Fort
Yeah.
Collins. I was like, I drove 30 minutes and the snow was like a third of what it was at my house. Like it snowed like a foot and a half at my house.
Yeah,
Oof.
it was insane, and I just kept getting pop-ups from a lot of like businesses that I follow. It's like, oh, we're closed. It's like, don't even try. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
My dad owns a small business, and so like all of Saturday morning, like we had to tell people come back in like an hour. We're gonna be shoveling.
Yeah.
And so like we had to like shovel all of our sidewalks, and it was a whole thing. And our parking lot, thank goodness we had like a thing for the parking lot itself, but for like our driveway and our sidewalk, we had to all do by hand.
I have to pretty much use my Jeep as like a makeshift snow plow because I have to park on the street. And all the plows just, put everything on the side of the street. So
where
it's
you're
like,
parking.
Yeah, so I had to basically use my Jeep once I got it dug out to then basically pack down the rest of the snow that was piled up around my Jeep, so that way when I got back home, I could just slide in there.
Yeah.
And not have to worry.
Right.
I saw Josh's brain working just then, and it was kind of funny. Anyway, a couple years ago, it snowed really bad on Thanksgiving. I don't know if you guys remember that or not.
I think I do.
If
Anyway,
it wasn't last week, it's not in
yeah,
here.
my family, like my extended family, all lives in Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to get my cousin back because he lives in Alaska. So we had to get my cousin back to Denver from Sterling
Eek.
to get back to Alaska to go home because he had to go back to work. Okay,
Uh-huh.
long story, but it snowed so much that the roads, like all of the interstate and highways and everything, were closed from here to Sterling. So we had to drift bust. So we had a convoy of 4 cars, I think.
Yeah.
The first one was like a big old pickup truck, and then my mom's Mercedes, and then I think it was my brother's pickup, and then another car. I don't even remember. It was another SUV. And like that drift busting, like that is the most terrifying car ride. It's usually like an hour and a half drive
Yeah.
to get there. It was a 5-hour drive because
Oof.
all of the major highways and everything were closed. We had to take back roads through like these tiny towns. We were taking dirt roads, drift busting the entire way. And if you don't know what drift busting is, like when you're driving, so like that snow drifts and it gets like that hard shell over it. And so the person in front of your convoy has to go a certain speed that allows the drift to break down so that
I
the
see.
cars behind can
Can just
actually
go
get through
through.
it.
Yeah.
And the goal is to not get on top of the drift and slide.
Yeah.
It's to get through the drift. So you have to have like a big enough car, which is why
Big
my
Yeah.
stepdad's
Yeah.
truck was first. Yeah, but that was like the most terrifying 5-hour car ride. I got so car sick because I already get car sick. And that's just like it was just white
Yeah.
flowing across the road. It was awful.
Good times.
0
huh?
out of 10. Would not recommend getting stuck in Sterling on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Although the one thing I did do, what was it, Sunday afternoon. So before I had to go pick up the wings that we were going to eat while we were watching the game, one of a building where I used to work, no one's occupying that building right now, so the parking lot was untouched. And when you have a Jeep, donuts.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like
The non-edible variety.
Yeah, not the non-edible variety.
Yes.
And
Imagine.
also at the same time, it's like, okay, I'm good at doing left-hand donuts, but I'm still learning how to do right-hand donuts.
Imagine not eating car donuts.
I knew you were gonna say
I
something
knew that was
like that.
coming.
You were giving the I have a statement to say look.
I actually heard the clicking in Dax's head.
Yes. Yes. Well, that has been some words.
That has been some words. We are getting close to the top of the hour.
Yes.
We're actually going to hit our times this week.
Huh?
What?
What?
Right?
Crazy.
Get back to the music so that both of my songs can be heard because I queued up songs.
Okay. I will do it because Dax is looking like they're going to swing their vans at me.
Tee-hee-hee.
And welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 4.0, part of AIM's 4.1, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be.
Oh dear.
How did
I'm
you screw
Josh.
that up?
You knew it was happening at some point.
What?
You are a screw up, Josh.
I
That
mean,
is
we know this.
Established facts.
Established fact. It's in my canon.
Mm-hmm. It's a canon event.
It is a canon event.
Yeah.
But, so right now, it was kind of an interesting little 20-minute
Was
break.
it 20 minutes? Oh,
Sort
dear.
of. Well, half break, half silliness, half...
I'm making a bracelet or a keychain.
Yeah.
Mhm. And unfortunately, we cannot say what you were putting on there.
Yes, and I have been warned that if I make a reference to said bracelet, that
we will.
I will be smited
Yes.
By Dan.
by Dan.
Who's
you
Dan?
aren't allowed to believe in Dan.
Who? Hey,
Am I
who's-
allowed to believe when it's the 12-minute time frame?
Hey,
Yes.
Okay.
who's Dan?
The giant flaming paperclip in the sky that everyone thinks is the sun.
Uh-huh. And why do we have a disclaimer on the show, Josh?
Oh no, this
The-
is old. This is
I know.
old.
Yeah,
I know.
This is still old, but this is a new era of the show.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yes, so
We love Dan.
the previous audience or the new audience may not know about that particular reference, but let's just say it would lead to some very lively conversations with the original cast of this show.
Right. We
and
need V
those
here
conversations
in order to discuss
and
Dan
those
because
yeah.
V is the only prophet.
Yes, V is the only prophet, but also to keep in mind these were in the early days of the show, and those ones could have probably got us thrown off the air.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know
yes.
what you're talking about.
So, in summary, the show has always been like this.
The show has always been like this. Right now, it's just a more refined form. Of
Refined's a
chaos.
strong and too big of a word, really. There's too many syllables in that.
It's a filtered version. No, wait, that still also has too many syllables.
We got these little like squishy bananas, and
Yes.
the temptation to not just constantly chuck it at Josh's head is so high.
Yes, a part of the event, there was these, like, stress toys
That are in the shape
look
of
like
bananas. A squishy banana.
Yes.
And I love them.
And the amount of effort that it takes to not make them into a makeshift weapon is strong.
It's
Yes.
not even a makeshift
Yes.
weapon.
It's
It
not
is
even a makeshift
just a weapon.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Dax is continually fighting the urge to
Yes.
chuck that banana
And we
at
are
my shiny head.
we're very proud of you.
Yes, we applaud
I'm not
your
going to make
efforts.
all of the jokes that I wanted to say
No.
when you said
We
that, Josh.
we are being
but-
appropriate. Yes.
That's so boring. You guys are boring. Anyway, what are we talking about?
I was
Great
going to say,
question.
actually, Dax has a nice little ponytail
Yes,
Oh.
you
on top
shaved
of
all
their
your hair.
head.
Yeah.
Where'd it go?
It's in the trash.
No.
I was going to say, it's we're doing, are we doing 2013 Miley?
Hey, I had this haircut for like a long time.
Was it in 2013?
No.
No, actually 2011, because that's when Bangers came out. Was
No.
it that
Saying
long already?
words. But
Yeah, so I basically being a CNA, you get very warm very quickly,
Mhm.
especially like I give people showers and stuff all the time. And so I shaved myself a top knot because my hair is really long and thick.
sir,
I'm
why
being
are you
threatened.
gesturing as if you were?
I'm being threatened.
There's a gesture
This
of
is an
a
unsafe
violence.
environment.
The vibes in the studio today are abhorrent.
They really are. I feel like
Yes.
none of us got enough sleep.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
No.
Anyway, the evolution of my hair. This was my haircut. This was my haircut when you first met me. I don't know why you're surprised.
Because I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
And we are sleep deprived. And also, too, for some reason, I keep having like flashes of what'll happen if the second that Dax, also for context, Dax is wearing some Vans with some very thick soles.
Yes, they are.
And I keep having the
Platform
thought in my
Vans.
mind of one of those literally flying at my head.
They even have elastic laces, so they're quick to take off.
great. Wonderful.
Yes. Dax, I don't need any more concussions.
AIM Student
And I
Radio does
don't-
not condone violence.
And I don't, and I was going to say, I don't have hair to protect my dome anymore, so it would
Dome.
actually hurt worse.
Dome. Okay, we need a topic. We're just
Let's
saying
let
the
them
word
listen to, like,
dome.
2 songs, and then we'll come back. This is
Okay.
not going well.
This is not going well. Speaking of
We
which,
need
I
to
tried to see if we
refocus.
had any current Miley songs on here, and we don't.
Just play. Do we have Party in the USA? Just play that.
No.
Oh.
No, I
That's
was like,
sad.
do we have any of the Bangers era stuff? It's like Wrecking Ball. Yeah, no, especially Wrecking Ball, because that was a time.
Oh man, I remember the drama when Wrecking Ball came
Oh,
out. I was okay. What year did Wrecking Ball come out?
2011.
Okay, what grade
I
was
would
I
have
in? I
been
was
in second grade, I think.
first grade.
First or second?
Yeah, that was like first into second grade for
Yeah.
us. So, and I at that point in time, I was living in
was-
Sterling.
I was gonna say I was a sophomore, junior. Actually, you know
Old.
what? Let me
Yeah, geez.
look when that album came out, because I know it was around that time.
Anyway, I remember like the drama in the small town of like
I'm
all of
pretty
the
sure-
teenagers were watching that video.
Oh,
and it had-
2013
it
actually.
had
Oh.
Hootie in it. I was gonna say I thought that it was.
Okay, yeah,
I
no,
thought it was
that
third
makes
grade.
sense. That would have been my junior
It's
year.
third grade
Okay.
then.
Yeah, that would have been third grade.
Yeah.
I just remember. Do you remember? Did you ever have to do like the? It's like SAT test, but for like elementary schoolers.
CMAS.
Yeah.
Oh,
Park.
see, in my days it was CSAP, and then
Yeah,
CSAP.
before they phased it out, it was TCAP.
Yep. So it was
And then
TCAP,
CMAS.
and then it continued to change. So TCAP, Park, CMAS.
I remember it being called CMAS.
Yeah, there like I remember it being all of those. And
Yeah.
then before then, because that's for upper elementary, before then it's Galileo testing.
Oh, I remember those.
Anyway, did you guys ever have to do like they get like all the elementary kids in the gym and you do like dances?
Oh yeah, to get people like
Yeah.
hyped up.
Yeah. But anyway, I remember doing those tests, and then like as we're leaving, Wrecking Ball starts playing, and everyone collectively goes, "Oh no!" So yeah,
Yeah, for me, this past it was September actually, early September. I went to a wrestling show at the First Bank Center. Keep in mind, they're about to tear the First Bank Center down, which is kind of a bummer.
Where?
Because it's in Broomfield.
Oh, okay.
It's like the Budweiser Events Center. It's about that size.
But in
Broomfield.
Okay.
And they were about to close this arena down because over its almost 20-year history, it was never profitable, and they were having a hard time getting people to come out for those events. So Broomfield basically said, we're done, and they're
Right.
going to knock it down and put something else in its place.
I mean, it makes sense since we have the Budweiser. Most people just
Yeah.
go there.
Yeah, and then there's also so many other venues in Denver that it was just
Right.
really hard to, convince people to go.
Budweiser is now called Blue Arena.
Yeah, or Blue, or it's going to
It's
take a
like
while for me.
Twitter, dude.
It's never going to be anything different.
It's like-
honestly, it's the same
It's like
thing
the
with
Pepsi Center.
Ball Arena.
Yeah.
I still call it Pepsi Center.
Yeah, it's the Pepsi
Yeah.
Center.
yeah.
Yeah. But they're going to knock it down. And this wrestling show was the final event that they were ever going to have in the arena. We didn't know until because it was about 2 weeks before they announced that it was going to close, but they didn't say when. And then like the week before the show, it's like, oh, this wrestling event, if you're
the
going,
last
is
thing.
the final thing in this
Huh.
arena.
Interesting.
And we went, they did the show. It was a 3-hour long show. And because what they do is the first
I guess
2
that's not that
hours,
bad.
the first 2 hours they actually show live on TV. They show it on TBS. And then the third hour is a separate show. They tape that while you're there with the crowd in the arena, and they show that on Friday. So we got to watch both of them. And as we're leaving, like the head guy of the promotion comes out, thanks everybody for coming out, because that arena, it hosted 3 shows. I went to all 3 of them over the years, and the crowd is always really raucous and really loud and obnoxious. Boisterous, thank you.
Yes.
And
Rackus.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think he tried to say like as in like they make a ruckus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we make
And
a
boisterous.
lot of a lot of
I
ruckus.
get what you mean, but that is just
That was a funny word he said.
That was a
there.
funny word I did say there, but the main guy of the promotion, the main guy in charge, comes out, thanks everybody for coming out, and he's like, this is the final event in this arena. And as everybody's leaving, Wrecking Ball starts playing. And it's like, and he's like, well,
I was
here we
wondering
go,
what your
symbolic.
segue was.
Yes.
I see.
So now anytime I hear the song, I think of that moment. It's like, and I actually recorded a bit of it and I put it on my social media.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah.
so long, First Bank, for the memories, as Wrecking
Nice.
Ball is playing.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think I ever went there. So
I went there just the 3 times for those three wrestling shows, which now I'm wondering where they're gonna go now.
probably just Budweiser.
Either
Oh, well, where is
Budweiser
Broomfield?
or
I'm confused.
Broomfield's like a suburb of Denver.
Oh, okay. So then just
Yeah.
one of the Denver venues.
If anything,
yeah.
the Denver Coliseum is about that size. So
Yeah.
if they go, I think they're gonna do there, because they're not big enough to go do a show at Pepsi Center yet.
Right.
So that would cost them too much money.
Right.
But like something like Ball Arena sized, or if they chose to go up the road to
You mean Blue Arena?
Blue Arena, then they could do that there. Or I know there's the Broadmoor Arena in Colorado Springs, but it's like, that's a drive.
Is I forgot what it's called, but is like the soccer field bigger than?
Dick's Sporting Goods Park is a little bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, this the like Budweiser and stuff, they hold what, like 3,000, 5,000. Like, they're not very big.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Budweiser is bigger than that.
No, it's a whole thing because technically they don't fit the AHL requirements,
Yeah.
but
or
we're still
actually-
in anyway.
Yeah, let's see. Actually, the seating capacity of that one. Oh, apparently 7,200.
Oh,
That's what I thought it
Huh.
was bigger.
Okay.
for
I thought it was
funsies,
smaller.
since you're searching it, can you see what the arena standards for the American Hockey League is?
Okay. I do know that is a thing that apparently Blue Arena isn't like within the
Right. It might not be like a direct requirement, but it's
Yeah.
just kind of like
I was gonna say because I've also been in Vegas and theirs isn't bigger than theirs
Really?
is actually smaller.
interesting.
Yeah, so that's just
Hmm.
fun things.
Maybe they got rid of it because so many stadiums couldn't meet it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just
possibly.
not
I mean, for
realistic.
smaller arenas,
Yeah.
it's tricky, but like the T-Mobile Arena where the Golden Knights play, that's like Pepsi Center size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that's the big team, the NHL?
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
NHL team, but
Yeah.
the AHL team, because there's another arena. I think it used to be the Thomas and Mack Center, which is a little bit off road from the Strip, and that's about Budweiser size.
Okay.
And then there's the MGM Arena. There's a lot of arenas over there.
Yeah. Well, it's Vegas.
Yeah.
Well, I think the one that you're talking about that I went to was the one slightly off the Strip. It's a little bit smaller than Budweiser, like not significantly smaller, but small enough that it's like noticeable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Budweiser, when they fit those like all the seats in for concerts and stuff, there is a significant increase.
That
in
might be what
capacity.
it is.
Yeah.
So that's how many seats they have. That's not the 7. Yeah, because it's a big arena. I mean,
It
Yeah.
is not a small arena.
When I saw Ghost in there, they probably had like almost closer to 8,000, if not
Right,
more, in
with-
there because you had all the seats plus the floor.
Right.
And their stage wasn't super big, so
They could fit way more
It was
seats.
pretty full.
Right.
yeah. I mean, for context, I'm pretty sure the Fillmore is 3,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
like-
Fillmore's not very
Like for as
big.
far as concert stuff.
Yeah.
So, because that Kion has been standing room in Fillmore before,
Yeah.
so like he knows the size of that and like what that feels like.
Right.
Fillmore holds 3,900.
Okay, yeah, close
Oh.
to 4,000. So that's why I was like, when you guys said 3,000 to 5,000, I was like, nope, incorrect.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
bad at numbers.
You really are.
And
yeah, Kion does not
then-
understand money or numbers.
Because
or...
I'm thinking about this for more than 2 seconds here.
Yeah.
And-
the Ogden. Okay, yep. I was like, I know the Ogden's tinier, but it's
Yeah.
tinier than I thought. It's only 1,600 in there.
Yeah,
But the
I love the Ogden.
Blue Arena
Bleh.
has, I believe it's 14 rows of seats per section. Is
It
that
might
right?
be a little more. It
It's
might
more
be like
than that.
18.
18?
I don't
Okay.
think it's 20 because it's not that big.
Right,
but
I don't think
I
it's
know it's more than
20.
14.
Okay. So let's say 15 rows.
Mm-hmm.
And let's guess 20 seats per row. That's math.
Like 20. I would say 25 to 30 because there are
Okay.
seats, but it's not very big. You know, if you look at sections.
They also just
or the-
added a bunch of seats and made the
Right.
seats all smaller.
That's
which is
right.
the worst thing that
It's
they could
so
ever do.
more
It is so cramped in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I genuinely dislike going to Eagles games because of it now.
gonna
Because
say, I
some
haven't-
random dude is sticking his stupid elbow into my chest, spilling beer on me every single time without fail. And
Yeah.
I can't stand the smell of beer already. And like
We're
when
gonna have to get you a box seat.
I've had a box seat before. That's actually one of the first times Kion and I hung out.
Yeah.
Was my birthday. My mom got a box seat for us
Ooh.
yeah.
a couple years ago, and it was a good time.
There was hockey.
There was hockey, but the box seats are also like the seats. They just made all of the seats smaller so they can fit more people in.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that they could increase the price
the
of the
seating
boxes.
capacity and
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. So
Oh, man.
it's all a big old money grab, and you can tell from being in that stadium.
I was gonna say
now.
I
Like, it
haven't
doesn't-
been in there.
Although-
I haven't been in there since they
You also
changed
have to pay
the
for
seating.
parking now.
That's the big thing.
Yep.
But although I gotta
I'll just
say,
park at Nordy's and walk,
although I gotta say, you can
or
tell,
at main of what or the
Main
summit.
event, yeah.
you can tell that they put it into some of their budget though, because I am a little bit of how you say a nerd. And like one of the first games I went to this year, I was like, I can tell they redid like all of their lights.
Oh,
Their
yeah.
lights are different. Their sound system
Yeah.
is different. So they've been using that money, but at the same time, it is, yeah.
Yeah, because that's always kind of a trade-off, and not just Blue Arena, but really any sporting arena,
Right.
where it's like, oh, we're gonna do all these renovations, and then you hear, oh, we're gonna try to increase the seating capacity. That's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's just a giveaway. It's like, oh, these seats are gonna get smaller. You're gonna be packed.
Yeah. One of the other things is I don't know if they actually did it or not, but there was talk of trying to improve all of the hockey equipment because of the neck injury that happened
Yeah.
earlier this year. So they wanted to try to have better equipment for preventative for injury.
No,
Bleh.
that makes
So-
Preventing
sense.
energy. Let's
Yes.
go.
Preventing energy. There we
I
go.
mean, have you
this
seen their
season-
passes?
Yes. I mean, it's
Topical.
it is a
Lucas, talking
crazy
about
thing. No,
sports.
and changing equipment is a thing that's kind of happening in all sports, because I know right now in the NFL, there's been this huge uproar because only a handful of stadiums still play on natural grass fields.
Right.
And those are proven for the players to have less injuries than turf fields.
It's
So there is
almost
this
like when you
huge
hit
uproar
grass,
to
it-
get rid
you
of
get hurt
the turf
less.
and put the grass back
Yeah.
in. Like the Broncos Stadium Mile High has real grass. Allegiant Stadium, where they just played the Super Bowl, also has real grass.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out, everybody.
Hearing you out.
Cloverfields.
Clover.
Because first of all, okay, the water capacity needed to maintain the fields is so absurd.
This
That's
is
why
a
they
rant
started
I
changing.
will join you in on.
This is
Oh,
what
boy.
they changed. So, like, changing to turf, it's damaging to the environment. It takes a lot of water supply, and that's taking, like, natural water away from people who need it. It's, like the clover fields and stuff, they would have to paint them less because
Yeah.
you can actually, like they could plant different types of clover in different places, and those types of clover wouldn't spread. Clover
Yeah.
is really good at staying self-contained. So they could quite literally plant the lines into the field.
Yeah. Clover is a much more easy to maintain, like, lawn.
It would look better, too.
Yeah.
It would look way better. It would look so much better.
And it has the same dampening effects that grass does
It
versus
actually
turf.
has better because clover interlocks with itself. So they would have better traction on the ground. They would have, like, it would just be so much better to have clover.
Yeah.
I believe that we should replace all grass in this state with clover fields.
At least, like, golf. I have so many opinions about golf, and most of them are I do not like it.
I'm just a top golf guy. Just bing.
Yeah. But, like,
See, top golf, that's fine. Whatever.
yeah, that's it's kind of different than normal golf.
Kind of.
I've tried to play real golf, and I'm not good at
Yeah.
it. But top golf, it's literally ball hit really far. Okay.
Yeah. The other thing is it's not as, like, sprawling of, like, a field, you
Yeah.
know? So the main
Because
thing
golf
is
courses themselves are
they are
Awful for the
not,
environment.
Yeah.
Awful for the environment.
Yeah.
They destroy so much natural ecosystem.
and it's such like a bigoted is not the right word, but like what's the word for like gated? Like
it's a very classist sport.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
it's very formed within classism, and like I think about the kids who played on the Greeley West golf team, and like in order to afford the clubs alone to be able to play on
yeah.
the Greeley West golf team, like there was such a high barrier to entry
Mm-hmm.
for that in order to like be able to participate.
So I have many opinions about golf, and one of them is if you're gonna keep doing it, they should have fields that
They should be forced to do it environmentally.
yeah, because watering those fields is
dude.
a lot. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And it messes up like the natural ecosystem so
Right,
much.
because there's nothing for anything to hide in. There's
Yeah.
nothing for any like birds to eat.
and like
you
it's
know?
multiple acres worth of land.
Right.
or more.
That
Yeah.
they're just destroying for the sake of a sport that is so boring.
I know. And
Yeah.
again, this is just our opinion, but I
Yes.
don't like golf.
It's a
And
fact. Dax says it is fact.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I don't do golf. Like top golf, that's different. That's just
it's
you
like
know,
Top Golf.
you goof around with your friends. You have a drink in your hand, and you're like, ooh wee. You know,
Top Golf is
that's
kind
it.
of like mini golf. It's a different thing, you know.
Yeah,
like-
it's mini golf, but more just focusing on just the drive, just whooping.
Yeah.
You know, not so much. Oh, I gotta hit this trick shot to go past this windmill, to go past the crocodile's mouth. Here, it's just see that target way over there.
Hit that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's expensive though. I went a few years ago with my friends, and I went into it thinking, oh, it's gonna cost $20 an hour, $15 an hour. We went on the weekend, and I did not research ahead of time. It costs $50 for no, it was $100 an hour, and we spent 2 hours.
Yikes.
So $200.
Yikes.
And ever since then, it's like, okay, if I go back, I'm not doing it on a weekend. I'll do it on like a random Wednesday night that no one's there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I-
off of peak hours.
That's another thing too. To do kind of like the gate entry for golf, but
Barrier to entry. Yeah.
thank you.
Mhm.
There's so little things you can just go out and do that don't cost so much, you
What's
know?
that place in Evans that closed down like years ago and just opened back up? You know
Oh,
what?
well,
I'm
now
talking
it's
about?
the Rush.
Okay, the Rush. Yeah, that place is like pretty cheap and a lot of fun
And
Where?
locally owned.
and locally owned. Yeah, it's in Evans. We'll have to go sometime. We have a
Okay.
bunch of. We have a
Yeah.
bunch of
The spot where my
tickets for
dad
free.
and the spot where my
Cool.
dad and I hang out is like right down the road from there. So
Nice.
I'm
Yeah.
always
It's
around there.
it's like it's genuinely a really fun time to go with.
Like it's family owned, and you can tell that the family
What?
actually poured a lot of money into renovating the place because it sat abandoned for ever.
What is it exactly?
Think
they've
of
got-
like Boondocks.
they've got like
Okay.
mini golf and go karts.
So it's like a Fort Fun kind of business.
yeah, but it's really small.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like it's
Really
smaller
small.
in
like
scale.
It feels like Greeley. It
Okay.
feels like
Yeah.
old Greeley, like when
Yeah.
when we were growing up, level
Yeah.
Greeley.
Yeah. But
You say when we were growing up, but y'all are like youngins still.
so approximately
I need you to remember that I exclusively hung out with my cousins that are your age. So it's not like I'm that far off from you, bud. I did all of those activities as like a 3-4-year-old. Okay, to be fair, the Rush did close down like fairly early. But Fort Fun, ooh. Fort Fun was the place.
I never did Fort Fun.
You've never been to Fort Fun?
honestly one Fort Fun never
Nostalgia.
really hit for me.
Nostalgia.
So
It's not great.
it
But
really
the
isn't.
nostalgia factor.
So
I guess I never hit that, you know.
This is gonna sound so awkward coming out of me, but most of the time, if I was in Fort Collins, if there was one place that I was, and it kind of ties into my lore because I spent a lot of time at this certain place, but
Josh
in
lore.
Greeley, the Foothills Mall. That is where I spent
I
almost any
remember
time
the
I'm
Foothills
in
Mall.
anytime I'm in Fort Collins. Usually, I'm at that mall, and it ties in because it's like, oh, you know who spends way too much time at the Greeley Mall?
Is it Josh?
Yes.
It's Josh.
You
Yes.
still spend a lot of time at the Greeley Mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
there
been
are-
a long time since I actually like spent time in the Greeley Mall.
So before V moved, I got them to go with me to the mall, and they were just so surprised because obviously the place, does need a little TLC in some spots.
Yeah.
And I'm just, they're so, calm and nonchalant, and they're just like,
I think we had a similar
Okay.
experience when I went to the mall with you.
Yeah.
But I don't remember
I-
what we were there for, but like you just walk in and you're all chill and I'm like eyeing like the suspicious I don't remember what it was, but I was suspicious of something. And I was just like, how are you so chill? What's going on? So-
yeah,
It's
no,
because
for
it's-
me, like the mall's like my second home, but also too, a lot of the businesses in there now, a bunch of them are locally owned, like the ice cream shops and
Yeah,
all of
that's
those.
true.
Like I like supporting them. I liked going to BNR when it was in there, but they just moved over to a spot out on 10th Street. So I had like a routine going. I would go get my ice cream. I'd eat in that little food court, and then I'd go over to BNR, see if I could find anything good, or I'll occasionally.
stand for?
It's it's Beth and Rhyme, but it was all used video
Yeah,
games.
I was gonna say, isn't that like the
Ah,
place that sold
okay.
like all of the
Gotcha.
Funko Pops.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
and like
gotcha.
they sold like a lot of Game Boy games and
a lot of old, like all old school
I'm
stuff.
imagining a second-hand nerd store.
It's basically
It
the
was
nerd
just,
store,
like-
but less. Well, actually, no. They
No, it
started
was
to
just-
change it, so they were doing like D&D nights and
Oh,
other
okay.
trading card
The
nights.
last
so they
time I
kinda
went in
turned it
there,
into a nerd
it's
store.
just like it was just like rows and rows of just like old old
Mhm.
consoles and the games and like all
So
of
like
that
a
stuff.
retro game.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like a retro
yeah,
game
and
spot.
they
Okay.
and then the last few years they really tried to like revamp it to have the old games, but also too you could buy like Magic cards there, and they would
Yeah.
actually have like Magic nights,
Okay.
Yeah.
and they had tables set up in the back that you could go and play.
yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
Do
but they
you-
just moved it over to 10th Street.
This is a purely inquisitive question. Do you know if they have any Warhammer stuff?
They might. I think they have some.
Okay.
Because when they had it at the mall, they had some of the cutouts.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think they have some Warhammer stuff.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not sure exactly what they have because I don't
Yeah.
play Warhammer
Yeah.
or really a lot of tabletop games.
Listen,
I'm the video game guy.
Do I not? I don't actually play Warhammer, but I have a slight models building addiction. So
Dax just perked right up, just
What?
like their head perked up right when you said slight models addiction. I just saw, boop, and I'm like, oh, Keon's about to get called out.
there's been multiple times in which I was supposed to be doing homework, and instead, when Dax comes to pick me up, I have paint on my hands. So they know I was not doing homework. I was painting my models. So, yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway, we are actually getting close to the top of the
I
hour because
know.
I'm actually looking at that clock.
us looking at a
Weird.
clock?
Huh?
What?
Time?
Yeah, time.
I know. I was
What?
also looking at the clock.
Time
and
is
being like,
relative.
"Ooh, we should probably let them
Yeah.
get back
Yes.
to at least a minute of music before we
Yes.
start yapping again.
Yes, and here we go. It's actually an emo classic, Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Enjoy. And welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 4.1, part of AIM Student Radio. The way radio should be. I am Josh, here with Dax, and here with Kion.
Hello.
Hello. It has been quite a lively show.
I mean, lively is a way to put it.
Lively is a way to put it.
Do we have a plan?
Do we have a plan? Never. No, wait. Do you guys have your spotted the thing we were talking about last
Stats
week?
FM.
Thank you.
Where's
Stats
my
FM.
phone? There, he's right there on the table. I found my phone. Oh, that's TikTok. Don't open TikTok.
Okay, Stats FM. It's gonna take forever to load.
Yeah. So Stats FM, if you have Spotify, there's an app called Stats FM or Spotastats. Is that what it's called on the
Yeah,
App Store?
well, now
FM.
it's Stats FM. It used to say formerly Spot
Yeah.
Stats.
Oh man, I have you so beat. It's not even funny.
Oh, geez, I'm terrified.
Okay.
Are we just going for the past 4 weeks or lifetime? Like which thing are we looking at here?
I'd say...
Do we want to do 6 months? That's the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do
Okay,
that.
let's do 6
So,
months.
Okay.
Stats FM, it's kind of like you're like wrapped at the
It's
end of the
Spotify
year.
Wrap, but it keeps track of it in real
Everything.
time.
Yeah,
and everything.
Yeah.
So like it'll tell you your top 100 songs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, which page are we looking at, friends?
We're going to do
Um,
6 months.
Yeah, and the very first page.
Very
first page.
The
the one that has your face.
I learn. It's not loading, but it's going. Okay.
It does take a second
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's your overview. Anyway,
Okay.
for total streams in the past 6 months.
Where do you see that?
Hold on, I've got to help Keon.
Yeah.
Yes, help Keon.
Please remember that I am not tech literate, even though I'm in a radio show. Yes. Do I not have the right things?
All right, so while y'all are pulling yours
Yeah.
up,
Okay, you do yours first.
so mine, I average 49 streams per day, 197 average minutes per day.
That is a lot.
Some tells me Dax is going to have me
Yeah.
demolished.
Okay, I think we found the right page for mine.
So
Mhm.
you're still on 1 year. So
Okay,
you need to set your time range
so-
for 6 months.
Okay, so I'll
Anyway.
set that up while you do that.
So I average 125 streams per day, 407 minutes per day.
Yeah, Dax wins.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. How do you do 6 months? I am sorry, folks.
It is on the bottom. It actually says 4 weeks and then 6 months.
No,
Mine
so he
does
doesn't have that because he
not.
hasn't updated his app recently.
Yeah.
Do you
my-
not have the pro version?
No, I do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I can just look at yours. Hold on.
Okay.
This will be faster.
I can tell
Yeah.
you that what my like lifetime stuff is, though, if you want to do it that way.
Okay.
yeah, let's just do lifetime since you can see your lifetime.
Okay. So my lifetime streams is 25,418.
Whoa.
What's your lifetime?
Lifetime 20.1 thousand streams.
Okay, mine is 93.1.
Oh my
thousand
goodness.
streams.
What is your
307
minutes?
307,000 minutes.
I'm
I'm
that
at
is
76.7 thousand minutes.
I'm apparently the middle ground at 87,400.
Oh wow.
So
100 or 1.3k thousand 1.3 thousand artists.
Mine's 2.27 thousand artists.
that is
Okay. A large range of how many have you listened to, Keon?
I
400.
have 2,133 artists.
Okay, so I'm
Okay.
the lowest on artists.
Huh.
Honestly,
That,
not a surprise.
That clocks.
Yeah,
I know
okay.
how you listen to music.
So why don't we go to our specific albums and songs? Because
Okay.
my top
Okay.
songs, my top 5 or 6 songs, I am the top listener in the world to all of them. So my top song.
Are we still doing Lifetime?
Yeah, my
Yeah.
top
Okay.
song Lifetime is Local Anesthesia by Covey. Covey is a king. I love him so much. I have listened to that for 9 total days.
Are we just going to do our top track? That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So my top track is Call Me What You Like by Lovejoy. I am sitting at a casual 3,965 minutes.
I see mine is 13,709 minutes.
Yeah.
For my top song, I'm the number one
Josh
listener
is
in the
giving
world.
us a concerned look.
The top listener in the world, after me, has 3,000 minutes.
Oh goodness.
I have
me.
13,000, almost
Oh my
14,000
gosh.
minutes. So don't
Oh
worry about me,
no.
guys. Maybe worry a little bit. It's a 0.2 popularity song, and I'm pretty sure all of that 0.2 is me.
Oh no.
Oh goodness me.
Go ahead.
Oh
go
wow,
ahead.
I thought mine was updated, but I guess not. So my top track is Never Fade Away, but specifically the Samurai cover that plays at the end of Cyberpunk.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
not the
Okay.
like pumped up version, like the
Yeah.
sad version at the end of the game.
Here's some
How many times have you listened to it?
It's I got to import it.
Here's some special shout outs.
You haven't imported all your data?
I thought I did.
Here's some special shout outs while we're waiting for that. I have listened to the Minecraft parody song Diggy Diggy Hole 138 times.
I am proud of you. I was gonna say, but out of all of the ones that you could out of all of the Minecraft parodies, like I think probably my favorite one was, what was it? Take Your Revenge.
Oh, Creepa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
We should have gone and sung Diggy Diggy Hole at the karaoke that just happened.
I don't think that's on the karaoke machine.
It's not a machine, it was just YouTube.
Oh.
Yeah, I think we could have swung it.
Alrighty, it's updating now. Thank you, Very Fast Names Wi-Fi.
And Josh still isn't.
I also have a very normal 584 minutes of listening to That Funny Feeling from Inside. So that's normal. Nope. That's not the right song.
I mean my fourth most, my 5 most listened to artists are Covey, Bears and Trees, Wilbursoot, Crywank, and No Offense. Guys, I'm not okay.
Yeah, those are all
Yeah.
very sad artists.
Noah's not sad. Bears and Trees isn't sad. Neither of them are sad. Those are both like pop
Okay.
punk.
I was gonna say my top artists.
Time to judge Josh.
I'm terrified now, but oh well. Top artists. The first one, The Weeknd.
Okay.
Number 2, my MCR. Number 3, I already used my one reference. So
I
Taylor
see.
Swift.
yeah.
Yeah, it's Taylor Swift.
Number 4, Ghost. Gotta have my spooky
I'm
ABBA.
sorry. Number 3 artist being Taylor Swift and number 4 being Ghost is something.
And number
then-
2
and
being
then-
MCR.
And then number 5 is the Beatles.
Okay.
I mean, if you
mine-
want an eclectic music taste, there you go.
I am going to say my 6th and 7th as well, just because I feel like it's important context, because my lifetime isn't very accurate anymore. So my first is Lovejoy. That's not surprising. My second is Will Wood. Third is Lemon Demon. Fourth is Mother Mother. My 5th is a band called Project Astati, which does orchestra covers of Kingdom Hearts music for my lifetime. I've not listened to them in over 3 years, and they're still like my 5th. So my real 5th is Bo Burnham. So yeah.
I was gonna say my 6, 7, 8. They're even wackier.
Okay.
6 is the Misfits.
Okay.
8 is Kendrick Lamar. Then 6 is Misfits, 7 is Kendrick Lamar, and then 8 is Fall Out Boy.
Okay. See, like I said, 6 is Bo Burnham, 7 is Fall Out Boy, 8 is Tolly Hall. So very normal music taste. Yes.
Here. My 6th is Los Campesinos.
Oh my
7
gosh.
is Glass Animals, which I have not listened to in a very long
Yeah.
time. However, there was a period in time where I would listen to the Heat Waves album
Yeah.
in its entirety for 9 hours a day every day for multiple months. So,
yeah. That'd do it.
and then Super Whatever is my 6th or 8th.
So if you have Spotify and you like the end of year wrap, you should maybe look at that app. It's fun to show
Yeah,
off.
and like support them. It's like an actually super cool app.
Yeah.
It's called Stats FM for Spotify.
Yep.
And all you have to do is like request your data from Spotify, so it can automatically sense all of your last 4 weeks.
Yep.
But Spotify doesn't like
Give you your
openly
lifetime.
give out
Yeah.
all of your lifetime
You have to
stuff.
request it.
Yeah, but you request it, you import those files. It's like really easy to
Yeah.
do. And then
I am
think
very-
the premium version is like $4.
It's
or
like
something
$4.
Like that.
It's-
Yeah,
I think it
Yeah,
might be
I paid
less.
for it. Like,
we
do support the
got it-
app. It's very cool.
We got it
Oh,
on sale. I think
that's
it might be
right.
like $10 normally, but it goes on sale so frequently, so you can like just wait for it to go on sale or support the app. It's an amazing
As
app.
mentioned while we were trying to pull this up, I am not the most tech literate person in the world, and I had a breeze setting it up, so it's
okay.
pretty easy.
Yeah. So my 9, 10, and 11 artists.
Okay.
These ones are.
Just
These
for
ones
funsies.
you'll know.
I'll know.
9, Billy. It is Billy.
Yeah.
And then 10, Daft Punk, and then 11, Evanescence.
I'm not gonna say what all of mine are because we'll be here for a while, but I think it's funny that my number 15 and 16 artists are Lin-Manuel Miranda and original Hamilton cast, respectively.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at these in a while, and I'm kind of surprised at some of the numbers on them.
Yeah.
I mean, mine are just like mine are all very. I've got Modern Baseball. I've got the Front Bottoms, Neutral Milk Hotel, Commuted, Young the Giant, AJJ, Car Seat Headrest. Like, it's not
Yeah.
surprising looking
You
at
know,
mine
yeah.
at all.
These ones, like, it's kind of a throw. It's like Post Malone, U2, Johnny
Okay.
Cash,
Here-
Jay-Z.
Here's a fun one. Go look at what your number 50 is, just for funsies.
Beyonce.
Wonderful. Yours?
Conan Gray.
Mine is all time low.
Okay, you pick a random number, Josh.
62.
62. Okay. Steam powered giraffe.
The Happy Fits.
Health, actually.
'Kay.
Fun.
My random number is going to be 43.
43. I was scrolling down. Okay.
Mine is Mother.
Really? Okay, so 40.
You too.
Where's 40?
Okay.
I can't find 40. 40. One Republic.
All right, Kion, you choose number.
He already chose a number.
oh,
Yeah, we already did that.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like we should move on from this segment. Maybe
this,
keep discussing this off air and let them listen to actual music.
This
instead of listening
segment
to
was
Yes.
music is cool. We're gonna listen to it now.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
We'll let it get back to the music. Hey, we got Deftones up next. Cool. And welcome back to the Dumpster Fire 4.1, part of AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be. Josh here with Dax and Kion.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
The dumpster fire. The way of the fire dumpsters.
The very of the fire
The word.
dumpsters.
The way
The way the cookie crumbles.
Indeed.
I'm just looking at that unwrapped sandwich
Yes.
just right across the desk.
This
I am
morning.
not going to start wrapping it while we're
Yeah,
on
that'll
air.
make
That'll be
so
Yeah,
much
that would make
sound.
so much noise.
This morning
but
I
it's
went.
just there.
This morning I went to Panera and I had a sandwich, and usually I am a big fan of Panera and their sandwiches. But today I was a silly goose and I forgot to say no mustard, and so I'm sad.
Yes, so
How
also
a
part of the
bummer.
reason why Kion was late.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I have to have nutrients.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a growing boy.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Are you a growing boy?
No.
You've been 5'2" since 5th grade.
I have been 5'2" since 5th grade. Yeah. Technically speaking, I'm 5'3", but I have a.
I was gonna say, it looked like
he
you were
has
struggling to get that
scoliosis.
lanyard on there, Dax.
I have a.
No.
I have a silly
No.
spine.
I'm fine. I have a banana.
Okay, I was terrified
banana.
that banana was gonna fly in my direction.
No.
No.
Why would we do that?
I love her
We're
too
nice.
much. She deserves more than being thrown at you.
Wow.
That's a very loving statement towards a banana,
And
Yeah.
not to Josh.
No.
and not to me.
No,
Not
screw
to
you, Josh.
Oh, how mean.
Nope.
Hey.
Hey. We're signing off.
We are signing off.
Today we were tired, like
This-
most days.
Yes, this show was brought to you by the letter Y, as in why are we doing this?
Yeah.
That's the second or third time you've made that joke?
But it works.
We might need new jokes, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna need new jokes. Thankfully, we have a week to come up with new jokes.
This episode was brought to you by the letter A.
This episode was brought to you by the fact that I have a 7-page paper due in 3 days, I think.
Yes.
And you're only 4 pages in?
No, I'm on page 5, but I need to trim a lot because I was not. You're meant to do a summary, and I'm very bad at summary, so I basically have the whole chapter in there. So yeah. But
yeah.
This is AIM Student Radio. We are the dumpster fire. I'm gonna take a nap.
Okay.
It's been
Kion,
real. It's been good.
It's been real. It's been good. It's been
Thanks
chaotic.
for just repeating exactly what I just said. You are not creative or interesting.
No, I'm not.
I feel like I maybe should just sit down.
Yes, you're still standing up.
Yeah.
No, Dax standing up is just asserting their dominance over us both.
Uh-huh.
They might also pass out.
Maybe.
Yeah, that would be not good.
My heart rate's probably at 140 right now. It's fine.
That's
no,
normal.
that's not good.
That's normal.
Okay.
That's not good.
We should go.
Okay, well,
Yes.
enjoy listening to music and not us.
Yes.
Yeah. So sorry.
So
Very
sorry.
sorry.
We're sorry.
Yeah.
If you made it this far, you're a real one.
Yeah.
a true soldier.
A true soldier. And we will let it get back to the music here on AIM Student Radio, the way radio should be.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.